Earth element for this Mars transit. So for Mars Capricorn, Mars Virgo, or Mars Taurus, if that's your natal placement, this message is for you. To combine this with Mother Isis, Goddess Isis. Healing the divine masculine. The divine masculine within provides protection, discernment, healing, and a sense of deep safety and holding, even though the most uncomfortable circumstances of life. Your inner masculine is going through healing right now, growing stronger in the ability to offer your inner protection and stability so that your inner feminine can blossom with creative expression. Wow, we were on the topic here. Let's see what we have with those mermaid cards. So this one is reversed. Let's see what we have with this reversal. We have homeland, arrival or journey ends, establishment, building, and settled. Okay, I flipped it. So we're gonna have to look at the way it feels, because if I flip this one, there you go. All right, and this is the unseen. So there's something that is unseen. Too much is hidden from you. Now I'm really curious. You know, with this period of time, if you have Mars in Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, okay, it feels that the way through is through the feminine and the masculine in a very different way that you've experienced before. It's as if you have to find a subtle balance to use your mind with discernment, but not over constrict. So here, when I'm trying to tap into this, I kind of feel the brain waves difference. Some of you, I've shared this publicly, and some of you were probably there. I did quit coffee. Now it's been weeks. I had one relapse. Oh my Lord. I totally understood why I was not meant to drink coffee. First of all, reading studies about the brainwaves you jump onto, which is beta, it puts your focus outward. So it's great to be productive, and that means do. But here, we're being asked to feel our way of doing, okay? And that means you're not going to want that brainwave state that puts you outward focus, because the way through is in through, okay? So it kind of has like a loop in, out. A little bit like, I feel at the breath. Some of you have watched my tutorial for my new album, the Your True Abundant Nature. There's different type of breathing techniques that can help you align. Here, I feel the square box, where you do 4 inhale, 4 pause, 4 exhales, and 4 pause. So one is full, one is empty when you're pausing in between the breath. That is super beneficial for heart-mind coherence. And I feel that this is going to be leading you to where you want to go. And it's been a journey, especially with the turtle energy, but it's something that is coming. But what is showing is that you're not going to see it materially, like it's not going to be the same logical way, and you're going to want to be comfortable with this. And it's almost like a temporary thing. I've been trained on this, and I still have to rehearse those techniques, as far as, you know, really feeling that sometimes like things are blocked because I'm missing just one little detail. So it could be that, you know, you had committed that you were going to do something that is more spiritual, and you didn't. So things just feel off. Or sometimes you committed to do something more material based, or looking at your accounts, or, you know, doing finances or your chores, and you're letting yourself distracted by your spirituality or by this feeling of uncomfortability, and you forgot your commitment. And here, this is where that masculine is, you know, wanting that discernment, that healing, and that sense of deep safety, with the feminine. And that means when you commit to a certain thing, maybe some of you maybe just put it in a calendar, take notes for yourself, because you want to integrate those aspects of yourself that are very multiple. You're just tapping so much more into your multi-dimensional self. So I think this is something important for you if you have your Mars in Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, and it is a collective message. Now let's see what type of other guidance we can get for those natives and the collective as this energy is transiting for a couple of weeks. I personally love the energy of Mars. It's really powerful. But I love working with it because I feel that it makes so much more sense, because it's like your emotions, your energy in motion is what drives you. So if you're not liking the direction that your life is taking, this is where you have to go into the unseen, into the parts of yourself that are not known yet, okay? Some of you, I feel that I want to share with you. I just released recently a higher self message. There might be something for you there, okay? All right, let's see what we have. Okay, it was reverse. The 9 of Cups. See, this is a wish fulfillment. This is a wish fulfillment. Comes reversed. And there's a full moon. Did you make a wish? Did you make a wish? I don't have the date of the next full moon, but I feel that maybe certain things happened in the last full moon, so December 26th, that needed to be released. Remember, this has been a really popular reel on my channel as far as Instagram, to release what needs to be released in order to receive what needs to be received. And I feel there's still some resistance here for the ones that have Mars in this earth element, and probably also for the collective in general. I'm going to keep it outright because we're feeling the reversals. We're feeling the blocks intuitively. Okay, all right. Oof. Okay, the Lovers, another card here that really combines feminine and masculine together so beautifully. So the Lovers, the 3 of Swords. This is interesting because I really I heard the word commitment. You know, when in relationship, it's easier for us to feel our heart broken when things don't pan out the way we expected. But what about when I just mentioned those examples where we're just stuck in one energy and not giving space for the other? And with the 8 of Cups, we definitely have to leave behind some of those habits. But I feel this is probably grief. This might be a lot of grief. Now, the grief is usually connected with the lungs. So some of you, if you have any grief towards a wish that hasn't been coming true yet, go and check out the 12 organs playlist. I do have the lungs. The lungs, if I'm not mistaken, is from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Or 3 to 5, I believe. Okay, but 3 a.m. I'm pretty sure, because I had phases where I used to always wake up around that. Some of you might want to look at this type of understanding, the clock of your meridians, and paying attention to when you're feeling that you're awakened. Now, this is very interesting because I had this last night, but I woke up at 1:30, and it's not my usual time, but this was because of my little cat. And I couldn't go back to sleep, and then I was called to do some research, and then I saw that that time was the liver. And I realized that I had a lot to release, and then it moved. I stayed up 1:30 all the way to 3+ a.m. and then I moved into the lungs. But what I felt was very interesting, just the way that we're connected to the mother for the first 7 years of our life, I felt that I was connected to my little baby cat in this fashion, and that she would purposely wake me up at a certain time because of an energy. I've noticed how much she helps me with energy work. So some of you, if you have pets, that's something that can be insightful for you. If you have babies, if you are being awakened by your baby, yes, they are going through their own thing, but remember, they are so connected with your own cycles. That's something energetically that you share. So that's for some of you that are watching this, that might be parents. And I thought that was just such an amazing insight, because I've seen, how when I had my Kundalini awakening, I was being awakened by my cats. At the time, I had 2 cats, and they would always wake me up, and I knew it was to interrupt a pattern of brainwaves, so I would start lucid dream. But I didn't know about the organs and those lines of energies, but I knew they were forcing me to change my habits so I could tap into a different version of myself. So that's something I wanted to share, because that's something I've experienced. I've seen it, from personal friends having their babies, having phases where they just seem to wake them up. And when they give me the time, I'm like, yeah, well, they're just making sure that you're going to be so tired that you don't hyper focus on mommy has to do this. So they make you tired with that pace. And especially certain times you're more yin energy. There's also times of the day where you're more yin. So there can be something also for you if you have Mars in an earth element that is valuable here. If you have a difficulty to find the time to juggle when to meditate or when to be more active, look at this clock. I will make sure that I post it on my Instagram page. But for some of you that are watching this on YouTube, if you need it, just email me or just look it up online, okay? So that's what I have as far as the energy message. There's an awareness that your wish wants to come forward, but you need to let go of certain emotions and certain ways that you used to work with your feminine and masculine that is no longer working. Now let's see. Some of you, I like to recommend some frequencies, because you guys, when I watch those, I channel this and then I have to rewatch and I have to do the energy work. I need those videos. If some of you don't know that, I need those videos. That's why I find them amazing, especially if some of you start looking at the synastry. Oh, maybe some of you, that's what you need to look at. The synastry between the last full moon or the upcoming new moon or the upcoming full moon. But I feel that if you've been feeling stuck, especially that's the beginning, you might want to do a synastry with the full moon of December 26, 2023, and look at what planet was being triggered. If you have any dotted green lines, and usually what happens, I had a lot of dotted green lines to my Mars, and I had to watch those videos and make sure that I did the energy message, that I was using the frequencies. And boy, when I was forgetting about it, I was like stuck. I was like, okay, all right, we're not doing this anymore. Okay. All right, let's see what we have for Earth element. And this Mars in Capricorn transit, what do we recommend for frequencies? Okay, so the auric field womb healing. Didn't we just talk about the mother and the ties? We did. Okay, so some of the things that are not allowing you to manifest something maybe that is different, something you've never had, okay, and that's dear to you. It's because you're still sharing some of the patterns energetically with your mother, with your parents, maybe some of you with your children. Usually your children are helping you to change those patterns, especially when they're young. But then they inherit what hasn't been removed. So that's what I have for you. I trust this is supporting you. Thank you so very much. If you have your Mars in a fire placement. So Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. If that's where your Mars is in your natal chart, let's look at the transits for Mars in Capricorn. Again, January 4th, 2024, all the way to the 13th of February, 2024. Okay, let's see. Let's see what needs to be brought up to the light, especially Mars is about the energy that drives us. Okay, all right. So those cards are reversed, but when I flip them, they're going to be upright. We'll just feel the reversals, you guys. That's what I've been doing recently, because we can feel when there's blocks. Okay. Ooh, interesting little pull. Let's see what we have on this little guy here. All right. The Knot of Isis. Part of your spiritual destiny involves a special relationship with the goddess. This means that not only do you have the important spiritual task of helping her thrive in this world, but you are offered her power, protection, and abundance too. You are now deepening your connection to the goddess. I just posted about the goddess era. I find it very interesting. Some of you, if you haven't checked out my wild feminine energy readings, this has been really activating for everyone that's received this. And it's been activating me as well, just, being granted to receive someone else's God self, goddess self energy is quite astonishing how that type of reading feels. So let's see what we have. Wow. Divine sensuality. That's what is actually written on the reel. When a woman has her sensuality, her spirituality, and her femininity all flowing at once, then she becomes a force to reckon with. It says making love erotica, and now it was reversed, so we'll see how that plays out. I could feel some Ishtar energy here. Some of you might want to look at your Ishtar. I'm just seeing a synchronicity for some of you. So if you have Mars in your Sagittarius or Aries or Leo placement, 22, if you're going to start looking at this synchronicity, this is going to be a sign about your alchemical sensuality, how to really combine everything and let it flow together beautifully. Let's see what we have here. The present, gift, treasure, revelation of own value, nowness. Okay, so it came reversed in some of you. If you have this placement, it's really calling you into your sensual feminine self. Okay, as much as collectively the message for the earth was about that balance between feminine and masculine, and we were working through some of those layers. And if that's something that you need to hear as a collective message, then please do that, okay? Because I feel that some of you, that might be important. But here with the air element, it seems that you're really being called to dive more into the feminine. Now let's get some messages. Ooh. There we go. Judgment. This is interesting. I want to pull more cards before I go and talk about my feeling here. Let's see. Jeez, I'm flying. Ooh, the High Priestess was reversed. Two major arcanas, very strong energy. I'm going to say something like really random here, but for you, if you have your Mars in Sag, Aries, or Leo, go and check out the song. It's called Je Quitte, which is actually French. And the artist is Charlotte Cardin. Charlotte Cardin. If you need to find it, you can find it on my playlist on my Spotify, or you can ask me if I didn't say it right. But I feel that listening to this song and letting yourself feel this message, because the synchronicity of the reel with your cards is almost like profound. This is the word that I'm hearing, profound. This has a waterfall in the video, and there you have this obviously she's underwater. There's an emergence of a version of you. Wow. Obviously with a key, you guys, you know what that means. Frequency. We'll pull frequencies for you. I don't know why I said frequencies. Might be more than one. Such great transformation that's coming. Let me see those details here. Fairies. I used the fairies in my last reading. I believe it was for Jupiter. Go and check out that reading if you haven't just yet. That's the frequency. Some of you, wow, it was 222 on that portion of the reading. That's my code for quantum leaping into a different, wow, into a different version of what you want to manifest. Go and do the work for Jupiter, your Jupiter placement. Same thing, I'm doing the elements. Go on your chart, look at your Jupiter placement, look at your Mars. We're going to really help you quantum shift here. Because you have something that wants to emerge, but it's so deep. It feels deep inside of you, okay? Some knowing. Wow, what knowing? Knight of Swords with the Queen of Swords. This truth is coming fast to you. And again, the butterflies. I'm getting a lot of references. And I'm like, okay. Some of you might want to watch the butterfly effect. If I'm not mistaken, that was with Ashton Kutcher. There's something about time, especially, yeah, there's something about time. Some of you, okay, when it just fell here, you might have, oh yeah, now I feel it like really strongly. You might have a sacred feminine wound, okay? If you have, and you have to resolve it. I would say look at your Ishtar placement. The asteroid is number 7088. Another number for you, the 22 and the 88 on a year 8. So this is going to help you. The movie could help you, could activate you. There's also a movie called 222. Like more like the time 2 and 2 dots and 2. All right, you guys, if you don't find it, just let me know and I'll help you. But I love being activated with, you know, movies and songs, and I feel like this is part of your work. If you have Mars in a fire element, you're being asked to move beyond some of the reasoning. You're being called to trust some of the little cuckoo-ness that I'm sharing with you. This is how I, you know, have been living my life for many years, but more so now, after having many layers of spiritual awakening, but especially Kundalini awakening in 2017, very drastic energy coming. So you have some truth. This is something, there's some, you see here, there's just one butterfly. There's one truth that is very important for you to receive. Maybe one past lifetime, one wound that needs, especially with the Judgment card, it also speaks of karma. And it also reminds me, when I see this, it's like it could be an alignment in your stars. That's something that I offer for the launching of 2024, which is natal chart promotion for those readings. Some of you, if you want to align with your wheel, how to change your fortune. It's more about, now it's 555 on the screen. Oh, the synchronicities are going to be really sped up for you. with a Mars in a fire placement. Okay? All right. This is amazing. Let's see what we have for the frequency healing for you. Yang frequency healing. That is so interesting. Maybe some of you, especially because you're asked to dive deeper in the feminine, maybe you have an excess of yang energy. That is so interesting. And remember your Jupiter frequency, please. I don't know why I feel like I have to ask you, because they are going to work together. Okay, that's the instruction I needed. You're going to want to do a session when they work together. Some of you, you may have also your Mars and your Jupiter that are playing some type of sacred geometry. They can be conjunct, they can be opposite, they can be in quincunx, they can be in sextile, trine. Okay, there's many angles, but this is important for you. There's some type of awakening, some type of truth, some type of leap in terms of achieving something that is very dear to you and getting the drive, the proper drive, not on and off, not shutting down your masculine to harness your feminine, and not shutting your feminine to harness and move, with your masculine. There's something that needs to be discovered from a timeline, and that's going to really unleash something great, some really strong connection, remember, with your goddess energy. And if you're a masculine gender, remember, this is more of your intuition energy, your transformative energy, the energy that is more mutable, that can offer you to release some of the strong resistance of control, knowing logically things. Because look at it, this stood out. This is destined. Okay, that's what I have for you. Mars in a fire element. That sounds exciting. All right. If you have your Mars in a water placement, let's see. So that means if you have a Mars in Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, let's see what this Mars in Capricorn from January 4th to February 13th, 2024 is bringing you to the surface. Okay, might be needed. We'll see. Okay, this was reversed, but sacrifice. There are those worth making, and there are those that will destroy you. I'm sorry, but I couldn't help hear myself say, that's a bit drastic, don't you think? Now, we are channeling for water element, so we know this is an element that dives deep. So yeah, maybe not that drastic. It's very water inclination. All right, let's see what we have. Ooh, yearning. Longing for someone, undesired separation, and pinning. And hearing this weird thing about location here. Location. You know what? Some of you, I want you to go and look at your astrocartography. There is something about maybe the line of energy of your Mars. I don't know why I'm putting this. You guys, my Mars, and I don't have it in water, my Mars was going through Boston, and my destined person that I'm with now for the last 5 years is from Boston. It always blew my mind how I was destined to go there, and we met. There's something for some of you. I don't know who that is, because I'm channeling this, and this is not for the whole collective of, all my followers. This is for the ones that are, connecting to me, the subscription, the memberships. So that really sparks that there's someone here particularly watching. Oh wow, transparency. Honest, authentic, genuine, present. This is interesting because with this Mars, I feel that there is some honesty. There's something that you have to be clear about. And some of you, your relationship dynamics are going to give you an insight to maybe some of the things that you need to let go of. Maybe a habit in the way of relating to a relationship, you know? With this amount of purple, I find it interesting because I have purple too. The crown. The crown, when you work with prana yoga, you know, how the kundalini flows with astrology, with the planets, okay? There's yin yang energy coming through each chakra. And we have 12 signs, and all those planets, the way they go through the chakras, they only go from the root to the third eye. Do you see how I'm like aiming on the third eye? Okay. And why are we not having the crown? Because just like a seed that has the potential of what all that you're meant to experience, all that you're meant to achieve, there's this matrix, and you're supposed to be fed by this cosmic energy and channel it. So through your spiritual awakening, you're channeling this, and it sparks the seed of your being. So it moves through you, and then it blooms into this crown, this flower, those lotus petals. Okay, so some of you, this is something that I don't know how much you have, you know, as far as awareness with chakras and working with this type of understanding, but I want you to know that you're receiving through this transit, some of you, strong waves of energy to allow the cosmic flow of alignment to make you bloom. But there's some things that you need to let go of. Let's see what Mother Isis wants to recommend. Okay, we have it here. Oh, that's another, I think it was the earth that had, again, like, oh, but it was reversed. The feminine Isis was in the back, as Osiris was in the front. Here it's reversed. Can't remember the message on this one. I'm curious now. But I feel like I want to watch. We'll see where this is going. Maybe that's a message for someone. High Priestess. This is interesting. Okay. A mystery is to be unveiled. No kidding, you guys. I don't know if you've been feeling this very mystical energy, but I have. A new clarity around your direction is unfolding. Be willing to wait for the full reveal, but also recognize what is happening at this time. You will be gaining valuable insight into where you are being led and for what purpose. I want to put it there. Might be some revelation. We have a couple here, we have a couple there. That's your yin-yang energy. We'll see what frequencies can support this. Let's pull some tarot cards. But when I was talking about being watched, it's almost like we're seeing here with the message. You need a certain clarity. You need a certain revelation. And that means that watch and wait. Watch and wait. But watch, you could be watch the energy going through you. Watch the unfolding of something. Maybe a habit that you're changing, how things change energetically around you, for you. Wow, this was strong. Oh wow, rejection here with the Five of Pentacles, abandonment. Maybe a mother wound here. Maybe you're still affected by the auric field. That was part of... Okay, this is interesting because I was hearing this and I did not mention it. But some of the elements, I recommended the Jupiter reading, but I feel also for you, you might want to look at the Jupiter and look at the frequency that supports your Jupiter placement. But here, I feel that you want to look also at the collective message for Mars in Capricorn. Okay, I know you're watching this, your Mars is in a water element, but remember also, water and earth, they complete that yin energy. It feeds it. Maybe there's some malnourishment. Maybe there's something lacking in the nutrition of your soul, of your heart. Something you've been yearning for. Something maybe it's been hard to be honest about because you don't know how to go about receiving it, allowing it to come. Seven of Wands, boundaries, especially in the reverse. This is a lot of external influences. And this is something also I didn't want to mention, but when I said watch and wait, the first instinct also was someone that could be watching you. Okay, or that you could be watching. That kind of stalking energy. Okay, so watch, especially you're the one receiving the Seven of Wands, so watch, maybe there's stalking energy around you, people being obsessed with you. Maybe because you emanate a certain wound that's on a frequency that would attract this type of relationship dynamic that's very codependent. Okay, I wanted to pull more cards, but those two cards from the bottom of the deck just stayed glued. Okay, so let's see here. Glued. Some weird words that I'm using. Sorry. Two of Pentacles. And the Page of Wands. In the shadows. Yeah, it feels like your creativity, there's something about your creativity that has been hindered because of a certain dynamic in relationships. Maybe that made you, and especially remember this, and we're getting those cards here in the shadow, sacrifice. There are those worth, and it says those. Well, those sacrifice, but I don't know why when I said those, I felt people energy. There are those that will destroy you. Wow. Mars in water, you seem to really attract a lot of voyeur. A lot of people that want to know what you're doing, what you're all about. Maybe, if you have your Mars in a water element, your actions are usually kind of private. They're more reserved. They're more to yourself. I've known a couple of people having their Mars in Cancer in my family, and I see how the dynamic of their action is a little bit different than, having it in fire, for example, okay? So it could be this that you have to realize. We're going to pull some. So remember, go and check out the Earth element for the collective. There is the auric womb healing, so clearing the space with the mother that could have been attracting some of the tendencies of your ancestral lineage. And we'll also want to look at the Jupiter transit. Maybe you have a certain connection between your Jupiter and your Mars that is creating this intensity. Let's see what we have here. Oop. Healing the spiritual warrior. This is part of the super empath. If I'm not mistaken, there's sadness in this one, a negative conditioning about sadness. So I would definitely recommend this for you, my dear water Mars placement. All right, thank you so very much. Namaste. Mars in air. So if you have your Mars in Libra, Aquarius, or in Gemini, let's see what this Mars in Capricorn transit wants to share and with you and teach you. Now we see we have two mermaids that are reversed, but we work through all those blockages. Okay. Oh, interesting. All right. So now remember, Mars is teaching us energy in motion that leads us to action. It's really helping us figuring out what drives us. Let's see what we have here. Endurance. Keep going. That was in reverse, but we're shifting this. Oh, visions. Psychic images, clairvoyance, seeing, out-of-body travel. A lot of blue. Feeling blue maybe for some of you. Now this color blue, in terms of chakra, throat chakra, going up towards your third eye and then your crown, because it's a little bit lilac here. Let's see what it says. And especially lapis lazuli, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yes. Temple of lapis lazuli. Your soul is very ancient and holds the wisdom of star peoples, from civilizations with unique high vibrational awareness that can help humanity transition from a culture based in fear to a love-based community. You are here on this planet to be you to the fullest extent possible. Then you will help heal human culture so that the planet may thrive. Wow, such a, I was going to say such a weight, such a responsibility. So, you know, it's like a grand vision. So because those were reversed, I feel that some of you, maybe you're being clouded in your importance in this ascension process. I'm so surprised. You know, when I'm tapping into this and I'm like starting to try to be a Mars air placement, I felt, especially with the sword energy, the metal energy, that there could be, you know, a lot of outside influences that could create this, you know, with the news and mainstream broadcast. Interesting. 43 in terms of placement in the zodiac wheel is where we have right now Kali. There's a transformation in your prosperity, in how much you can receive. Especially with endurance, maybe you have some type of excess or deficit in your yin-yang energy. And maybe going from those chakras we've mentioned, I'm feeling more especially the third eye when I started to talk about those energies. With the moon, some of you who don't know, when you actually look at prana, life force energy, and start doing activations with this type of yoga practices, the planets, when they're connected to the prana, the life force, the way they're connected, it's from the root to the third eye. So it's 6 on each side, yin, yang and yin. You know, yang in the front and yin in the back. And then you have this energy that flows. Which I thought it was interesting when I said that. I also realized that when you're doing cosmic breathing, so microcosmic orbit breathing, I just shortened it to cosmic breathing, you're actually inhaling, going up the spine in the back for yang in the inhale, and then exhale in the front for yin. But it makes sense because everything is in duality. That's actually everything, how we materialize the energy. Well, I'm giving you a lesson here in terms of meditation and activation, but I feel that some of you, it might be something that you're ready to dive, especially with this endurance, dive into. There might have been something at the full moon, December 26, 2023, that still needs to be revealed to you, and we're going to get some tarot cards for that. It's funny, you're not the only one. I can't remember which element had this, but there was some different layers of revelation that needs to come through. Let's see what we have. It's a lot. Okay. Let's see what we have for you. Mars in Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. Okay, temptation, the devil in the reverse. Giving up. The Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, we mentioned something about your finances, or I felt it. Maybe I didn't mention it now. I can't remember. Ace of Wands. A lot of reversal. Hierophant. Okay. You want to work on, I think I gave you a lesson because there's something in the flow of your life force, in your Kundalini. When Mars is in Capricorn and you have your placement in air, maybe some of you, the way it just hits your chart is going to feel very strong, okay? It can be a very strong period of time to really understand how to align with the cosmos, how to not have to force destiny, but allow destiny to unfold through you. There's a factor here, it talks about fear. So some of you, there might be some type of fear, especially here, the temptation of allowing the noise from the mainstream broadcast to affect you. This is interesting. I want you to look at the last reel that I posted that is about the goddess era. And there's a little text that I wrote, and that speaks of that commitment that you want to have in terms of embodying and following and having this spiritual vow, an oath to yourself, to creating something greater. Yeah, I think this is something you have to remember. Maybe there was a lot of things that affected you. Now, that's the first time that I actually see that there's a yin-yang symbol on this Hierophant. Okay, we're going to pull some of the cards, but some of you definitely go and check out the Yin Yang frequency playlist. We'll see if we have something else. It's almost as if you forgot how much love and potential there was for some of you. Maybe something happened or did not happen that was expected. Letting go of karmic trauma and bondage. Now it makes even more sense. Now what's interesting, this is actually running into the quantum fascia. This is something that reveals that some experiences created a certain experience, or fear, anxiety, or whatever, and it locked your body in a certain wheel and certain pattern, and it led you to associate certain beliefs to this event, and also maybe have certain fears about this always coming to the same place, to the same conclusion. You want to release the fascia. You want to release this. So maybe play with the quantum fascia healing, especially this one. Play with the yin yang frequency playlist to open up your eye, your inner sight. If you've been feeling, and if you're through this phase at any point in time, you're feeling low in energy, remember this message. If your energy is feeling drained, especially remember the endurance was reversed, the vision was reversed. It's almost as if it's clouding your judgment, especially with the swords. It's truth. It's clarity, it's lucidity. Maybe there's events going on. You might be very receptive to the collective. And you want to make sure that you work on that inner partnership within yourself. Okay, that's what I have if you have your Mars in an air placement. Thank you.